What's going on? It's Fist bringing it to you like I do. And I figure Sunday is no better other day to do it than today. And I didn't have a chance to get to talk about it because I didn't want to talk about something that I didn't know about. You know, a lot of people in the YouTube community will sit there and talk about a system. They have no idea what they're talking about just so they can get views and so on and so forth. And that's just not my style. You know, and everybody knows that I'm a little biased to the Sony PlayStation whole situation out there, and I wanted to bring in a connoisseur. I mean, I'm not going to say he eats the Sony or Xbox, the Sony PSN network, but he just knows so much more. I just consider him a pioneer about, talking about the Sony and the Sony system, and everything has to do with Sony. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest for this mini podcast on my channel for Sunday, TREZZY504. What's up, man?
What's up, brother? How you been?
Yep. So this guy right here, he pretty much, if you haven't heard of him, go out to his channel. I'll leave the link below. Pretty much, he talks everything about PS3. If you're one of those persons who loves the PS3 and likes what they have to offer, and you need some insight earlier than what is offered out there in the community, he could serve it up first. And this is where I got the information from before anybody, even mainstream, got it. He was the first one to talk about the new Sony PlayStation. So Treezy, can you break down, the information's already out there, but for the people that don't know what's going on, and you're the first person to break this news, I consider on the internet, tell you the truth, I was the first one to see it. Can you break it down for us? What's
Okay.
this whole thing about?
All right. So basically, the source where it originated was Kotaku.com, and this is like I seen it right when they put it up. So I'm like, okay. And there's been a bunch of rumors so far, like with the Xbox Durango. I'm sure you've heard of it, and now the PlayStation Orbis, and I think a lot of these rumors are coming about because people want to see them combat the Wii U. But we'll see all that at E3. Like there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be taken with a grain of salt, especially with Kotaku's rumor. Because anytime you have a rumor that says their official sources, like their sources, so you gotta already be like kind of skeptical with, okay, they have some secret team that knows this about this, but they say they've been reliable in the past, and it all depends on where you can go with what Kotaku's saying. Like I don't know, Michael Pachter already came out and said whoever gave the source of the PlayStation 4 must have been a monkey, like basically implying that a lot of this sounds like bullshit. But so I seen it and I decided, let me talk about it anyway. And honestly, I'm not too thrilled with what I've heard about so far either. I don't have no problem with used games not being able to be played because I don't buy my games used. I'm sure you don't do it either. But
Uh-huh.
it's also the fact that I'm sure you go to your friend's house. Like if I bring Mortal Kombat to my friend's house, already I would have to pay for an online pass if we want to play online. But just the fact that I couldn't play offline with him, at his house, if I bring my game over, what kind of shit is that? That already seems like a feature that if companies were going to do it, all three of them need to attack the used game market. That not just Sony, but Microsoft and Nintendo. Because if they all attack the used game market, then GameSpot might want to go to, GameStop might want to go to war with them and not sell their consoles. But they couldn't sell their consoles without selling games, so it would take the Trinity to take down the used game market. But basically,
Yes.
that was the big thing with the used game stuff. And I don't know if you believe that stuff, if you think all three of them would want to take out the used game market. But if they plan on doing that, all three of them have to do it. If not, then GameStop, which is probably the biggest gaming retailer we have, would not sell the games that weren't going to be able to have used games played on their system.
So
But
let me back it up a little bit. So break down the rumor as to why we would be at that point in the first place. Sony's um, idea of revolutionary next gen console gaming. Break down the supposed next gen rumor of what this PlayStation is going to be called, what it's going to do, what is the proposal, what is the outline, and why do you think the outline is the way it is?
What with the Orbis? Dude, I don't even know honestly because the rumors that have been stated, the only specs they had was what was it, the AMD 64 CPU and the AMD Southern Islands GPU. And if you know PC gaming, because honestly I don't, you know me, I don't really mess around with PC gaming. Not knocking on it because PC is awesome, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't know like what how great that is and basically what they were saying, Orbis games would be at a resolution of 4096 by 2160 or something, which people say is insane because if you and then apparently you'd be able to play 3D games in 1080p, which right now on PS3 you can only play 3D games at 720p. Well, pretty much if you want to do it, I'm pretty sure they could do it at 1080p, but it would be all messed up. But I know on PS3 right now you can only manage 3D at 720p.
No,
But other than that, they didn't really state any features that honestly wouldn't made me want to buy a PlayStation 4 right now. Because
what
also the fact that they don't want to add backwards compatibility, if that's true, like come on, man, they didn't learn from the PS3. Like I know you got PS2 games you want to play, but if you go into the PS4, why wouldn't you allow PS3 games to be played on your next gen console? Like I don't understand why they're not doing that, why they're not adding backwards compatibility to it. It doesn't make any sense. So honestly,
what
the features I've heard so far do not make me want to purchase a PlayStation 4 because none of them have been, like, oh, it's going to have this and that other than the current specs, which are rumored. We don't even know if that's for real. You know what I'm saying?
so I, I guess the rumors that I was here's the feelings I get from being an Xbox owner. I understand, like, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. Like, for example, if they did make the PS3 um, not backwards compatible, you had to pay online to play, uh, and other, you know, I guess the biggest issues not to be able to play any past games, and you had to pay for your online service. Where do you think the majority of the PS3 owners would go? Do you think they would stay with the Sony PlayStation, or do you think if they're from North America, they would move on to like the Xbox, or just go somewhere else? I don't know.
For real, who knows, man? That's actually a really good point because if they do go that way, where the next console is pay to play, then it's kind of an open field because that's one of the things that made the PS3 appealing was the fact that you didn't have to pay to play online. And
Yes.
who knows, man? And you already know in North America, like it's predominantly Xbox 360. And I'm not saying like, oh, they're the best or anything. I'm just saying like this is where the Xbox 360 thrives over
But I'm
here.
just I'm just
But
trying to figure out does Sony with their idea of their next PlayStation, are they trying to be competitive in the North America market, or are they trying to please the people? Like, it seems like they lost their identity when the Nintendo Wii came out, and then they just seem like they're playing catch up the whole time. And now they're like, yo, let's just go back into America, get back into that market, and then not really worry about what's going on in Japan, and just do it that way. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you think
well,
that's what they're
it seems that way. Like they're definitely trying to get obviously they want to get their North American support back, but the worldwide support for the PS3 has always been pretty good,
Yeah,
and
it's huge.
overall, especially in
It
the UK
yeah,
and
it's
especially in
huge.
Japan. But
Yeah.
they definitely, for some reason, they kind of dropped the ball in North America. Not saying with me, but with a lot of gamers, because like you said, a lot of people moved to Xbox 360. And of course, when the PS3 came out, you can also go all the way back to when the high price of the console. What was it? I
You know,
paid
cause
six
see the
hundred
thing,
bucks. Right?
cause see the
Like
thing
that.
was, I'm sorry. Cause you see the
Uh,
thing was, is that I was a PS2 player, and I love the PS2. I mean, it just seemed like to me that like they just waited too long, and then the Xbox came out, and my friends were on the Xbox, and then I moved over there, and it's like they conditioned us to this service all year long, and and the interface seems to work a little bit easier for me. I mean, I just don't feel like I'm getting the love. I'm hoping for the PS, the next PlayStation to have the integration. I mean, if they're using this as an excuse to say, listen, we're going to give you great service, but we're going to charge you for it, then as an Xbox owner, I would openly accept that in North America because competition is good for the Xbox because then they won't get complacent and then I have two good systems to choose from. As it stands right now, as I feel like an Xbox owner, it feels like, I'm constantly, downloading stuff and it takes so long and the interface is so hard to navigate for me, coming over that I'm kind of hoping that the new PlayStation is that way. But, you guys being, the faithful that you are, I mean, I don't know, is it really going to make a difference to you guys, or are you just going to be like, yo, we're getting a PlayStation no matter what?
Well, like I said, honestly, it all comes down to how the next gen consoles perform. Like, if we do happen to see the new Xbox Durango or a PlayStation 4 at E3, and we can compare it to the Wii U, obviously you want to go with the best console. That's how I've always been. Like, which
Mm-hmm.
one's gonna give you the more bang for your buck? Which one can you see yourself playing? A lot. Because I have no problem in any of the consoles. I've played all of them actually, but I just, I find more enjoyment playing the PS3. But it's funny
Uh-huh.
you mentioned the interface thing because there was also another, I don't know, actually, I don't even think this is a rumor, but I think earlier in the week, there was this article up talking about how Sony was sending out PlayStation Network beta invites. And somebody tweeted PlayStation Europe, I believe, and asked if it was for real because somebody thought it could be somebody trying to fish and get their account information and stuff, if you
Uh-huh.
put in code. But I don't know if they're actually trying to revamp the PlayStation Network or redo the whole entire interface. But if they do it something like, I don't know if you've seen the PS Vita interface. That's actually pretty sweet, man. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen it,
No, I
but
haven't. No, I haven't. But like I said, I don't even care if Apple made a new console. But to the way I'm looking at it, they're talking about these rumors that it doesn't matter if Apple, Google, Sony,
hell, there
Microsoft.
was a rumor that Valve was gonna make another console. I mean, a new console. We're about to say another console like they made one. No, there's a rumor that they're gonna make one too. So there's all these rumors, man. And we're
Yeah,
coming up. We're coming up soon to E3. So, like I said, if it's not announced at E3, there's no way in hell PS4 is coming out in 2013. There's no way in hell because the Wii
yeah,
U's not even out yet, and they
yeah.
announced that last year.
I just feel like, I just feel like I want there to be a second competitive gaming system out there. But the way things are looking, when you look at OnLive.com and Steam,
Yeah.
it seems like, you got the Apple iPad. The Apple iPad is kind of like it's I don't know if it's like how many evolutions ahead of the console, but it seems like every generation that grows up on gaming, you'll look at it, it's like 4 years from, like, I would say like 4 to 7 years. Every generation, that's about I would call that a generation in gaming. And
Yeah.
it seems like these iPads and flash games, it seems like they're getting away from controllers and CD type games where it's downloadable content and everything is touch screen.
Touch
Like,
screen. Yeah.
yeah, so I don't even
Dude,
think
I
that.
played a I played a 99-cent shooter online. It was called my because my I got my wife the BlackBerry Playbook for Christmas,
Uh-huh.
and I bought her a bunch of games on there. And it was called Nova 2, I believe. I must have played it for like 5 hours, man. That's how like wildly addictive the game was.
Hey,
99
listen,
cents has online co-op, all that stuff, and a
listen,
story, man.
listen. I'm
And
not gonna lie to
the
you.
graphics were awesome. You know what I'm saying? And it was a 99 cents game, so they got a lot to fear from stuff like this, man, because
Yeah, yeah.
that can
I
quickly become the norm. You
Yeah,
know?
I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I bought a Zynga game, and Zynga, I can't believe their stock is so low. It's like $2 or $3. But the
Yeah.
crazy thing about Zynga is that you can buy a poker game, and then you could play it on your iPhone or whatever application it is. And the crazy thing is, you lose your chips, you have to buy more chips in
Yep.
real money. So
Yeah.
every time you're dumping $20 to get more poker chips, I had to delete that application off of my phone. Within
Yeah.
the first day, I spent $80 on that game, and it was free. The application was free, but I was constantly buying chips because I wanted millions of chips. I was trying to be number one, and I was like, no, quit now before you spend all your money. And I thought about
Oh
it. I was like,
wait. So wait, how's it? Wait, the poker. It wasn't like online. You didn't play against people.
yes, it was.
Oh,
You
wait,
get
but there was no cash out though.
no. You bought the.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Fuck
It's
that, bro. I'm thinking
it's
like, what? They got a poker game? What?
no.
You can make money?
It's cracked out, dude. You could play, but the
Wow.
crazy thing is like you could be walking around on your iPhone and you could be playing poker all day long, but you got to have chips. And then there's like these different games, like you got
That's tough. They make
like
you buy it. That's the worst part.
see, that's what I'm talking about.
Those
That's
little
why
microtransactions, man. Like PlayStation has a game coming out like that called Dust 514, or I believe, it's Dust 514. And basically, you can do. They're gonna have microtransactions in the game, and people can sell guns and shit in the game.
that's
And
crazy.
yeah, you can make guns and sell them. I heard, and basically, it's gonna be free to play. But that's the thing about these free to play games, man. They in the long run, if you get addicted to it, it's not gonna be free to play. You're gonna be spending,
No,
you
no,
know.
it's not. You're gonna get taxed so hard. I
Yeah,
mean, I spent $80 in one day, and you look at their stock, you're like $3, $4 for Zynga, and I'm thinking I spent $80 in one day. How is it that cheap? I mean, these people are spending real money, and we're talking about not kids. And I'm sure if kids got a hold of it, they would spend mommy's credit card and everything else. But I'm talking about money as an adult. I was spending. I had to take that app off my thing. So what I'm saying is like I don't even, to be honest with you, I like the interface. The nice thing I like about the Xbox dashboard and probably the PSN, which I haven't looked at in a while, but all the applications that are coming through your TV now. Like I got MLB TV now,
oh
so
yeah,
you could pay $124 and you could watch every team, every game all year long, and you only have to have basic cable, but the application connects you through your cable station, so you don't have to, like, let's say you don't have to buy like a package. You're only buying specific packages for what you want to watch. So like the first two that they introduced was HBO and MLB TV, and I took MLB because the Tigers, they signed a bunch of rich, big time names. So I was like, I signed up to that. But see, you see the direction it's going into. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if like, the console is going to be in the cloud, like Microsoft
yeah,
Xbox Live is going to be its own entity in space, like PSN. So
yeah.
I think you're just going to get a controller in the future. So the point of going from a friend's house to play a game and whatnot, I think it's just take your controller and pop in your password, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that actually seems smart because they got to do something about that because you can already see people bitching, but people are already bitching about the used game feature, and even it's even been rumored in the new Xbox in the Durango that there's going to be some anti-used game feature. So, like I said, if this is true, the only other person that has to hop on board with this is the Wii U, and then you might see a war go on between them and GameStop. I mean, that would be actually very interesting to see three
I don't.
companies banding together to stop used games. Because honestly, when you think about it, look, Sony, I don't know if you heard the news, they just shut down Zipper. They just shut down Zipper. Did you hear that?
Ooh,
Yeah,
SOCOM is done, huh?
yeah, SOCOM is done. And so all those SOCOM heads, I mean, I got a couple of friends that were big SOCOM 2 heads, and, they're not happy about the news, but
So
it,
that
and
means
Sony's been starting to change focus. Like you can tell, like on anything that's gained them a profit, they're keeping. But whatever is like, obviously this is kind of scary for other studios because, what if the next game's not a hit? And also, I mean, I know you heard about Eat Sleep Play with David Jaffe leaving right after Twisted Metal was done. So who knows what's going on if they're trying to restructure the company to get back, like what you said earlier, gain the North American crowd
you
back.
know.
But
I think exactly. I just have a feeling that PlayStation, they kind of got backhanded by the Wii in their own backyard, and they were like, well, what made PlayStation big in the first place? And I think that was being in America. So they're like, we could always go back to America because everybody in America loves us. We just have to. I mean, basically, all the Japanese. I'm not trying to put them down or nothing, but all you have to do is copy what's successful and make it better.
They already did, man. Oh, and that's the other rumor about the Orbis. Apparently, the Orbis can also be like the Kinect or just the eye toy without the wand. Because I mean, let's face it, man. I'm pretty sure you don't mess with Kinect like that, and I don't really mess with Move.
No.
Now, I'll tell you what though, Sony they're missing out on a lot of revenue with the Move because the Move, like, it's fun and all, like but it's one of those things that die quickly. However, if they focused on rail shooters, it can be like an arcade experience at your house because it works so fucking well. And
Yeah.
it'll be to fucking swear, but it works very well. I just bought the House of the Dead 3 and I was playing that for like hours, man, and it was just like playing it in the arcade. And if they focus more on rail shooters, and you could have like bring like the whole arcade experience, that could be like a whole revenue stream right there, and they can market it that way. Like, remember playing in the arcades when you were like in the the 90s and stuff, playing these shooter games, and bring that type of experience in your home, man. And because the Move works very well with rail shooters, man. I don't know if you ever played one on the Move or whatnot, but it works extremely well. Not the ones like the Golden Eye where you have to actually move. The one, you know what a rail shooter is, where it carries you along and you shoot. If you played House of the Dead, you know what I'm talking about. But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but no, if they focus on that, that would be really awesome. But like, it seems like they're jumping from one thing to another. They had the eye toy which came out, which didn't last long, and then they said, well, let's incorporate a wand with it, sort of like the Wii. But and actually it's not bad, but it's just something that didn't grasp on like Kinect did. But both of them, I played both. We played the dance games at my friend's house and all that stuff. And I can't get it, man. I can't. I really can't. I really can't, man.
So who's the head of Sony PlayStation now? Who's running the show over there? Do you got much?
I want to say Kaz Arai. I believe they just announced him as the CEO. And yeah, it looks like he might be trying to go back to the old days, like what you're saying, man. I think because obviously they're trying to restructure the company, and I've been reading a couple of articles about it, and that's what it seems the way they're going, man. And like the zipper thing was kind of a shock. A lot of people were saying, wow, I can't believe it, but a couple of people were actually saying good riddance, which was kind of sad to see because some people didn't like, you heard about the people complaining about SOCOM 4 or MAG or
and then people bitch about when I talk about Call of Duty, like, you won't know it's a good game until it's gone. You might hate on Call of Duty, but you fail to realize the fluidity, the mechanics of the game. It's just the thing that they milk the shit out of that game.
That's the problem. That's the problem. These companies realizing they have hits and they milk them, and that's especially Activision. I mean,
yeah.
And what pissed me off with Activision, we can go off subject here. They have, I don't know if you've seen the new Sleeping Dogs trailer from Square Enix, but
No.
that game looks fucking awesome, bro. And that was Activision's game. That was True Crime Hong Kong. And they basically gave obviously Square Enix bought it, but they didn't buy like the name, so that's why they changed the name to Sleeping Dogs. But the fact that Activision had this game and they cut this game out, and because of poor sales from True Crime New York City, and if you look at this game, the potential this game had, and like now where it's at now, they look stupid because you can see what they're focusing on. Their main focus is Call of Duty. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you're gonna see a Call of Duty Vita this year, and probably Black Ops 2 speaking of Black Ops 2, me and Fist have 25 Black Ops 2 beta codes, so make sure you check that out. First come, third.
When you get those?
Man, I just got them, man. Activision CEO just sent them to me, man.
Black Ops 2 beta codes?
Yeah, we got them.
Really?
You already know.
I didn't even know that. That's fucking news to me. Holy
April
shit.
Fools!
For what? For the April Fools?
Yeah, I had to do it.
You got me on no cast.
I was like, damn.
I was like, on the PS3? Really? I was like,
I know, right?
Oh man, shit. So that's a good one. Hey, it's April Fools, everybody. He got me. I'm not gonna lie. But hey. So where do you think the direction of the PS3 is, I mean, what's your honest opinion? I mean, where do you think the PS3 is going? I mean, do you think it's like, is it gonna like alienate, or is it gonna rebirth because of generational, or they're just gonna do what they gotta do?
I don't know, man. Like it's a new ball game now. Like who knows what they can do now? But like I said, they've shown like the potential over the years. You know, with games like Uncharted and all the new IPs they released, like when Infamous came out and such. And it's they show that they still have potential, and people buy their games. These games don't flop. You know, it's just they're not as big as what they should be. You know what
So
I'm saying?
let me ask you a question on this. On that note, what the hell is going on with Killzone? I mean, what is the bottom line on that
David,
game?
dude, you know, I don't know if you know how I feel about Killzone. I love Killzone. Well, Killzone 2, I should say. But
Uh,
Killzone 3, I don't even know. Dude, you remember when I did that video ranting
yeah,
about
you broke the story from PAX.
no, no, not even that. The video I did when the game came out and how their mods. Killzone 3 has mods in the game, and
Okay.
basically they just ban the hell out of people, bro. And you say like fuck one time or some shit, or you get caught by a mod, you'll get banned from the game. And I
For
didn't just
swearing?
get banned. Yeah, so I don't know what I remember what I did. I think I don't I was cursing out some dude because we were playing what was it? What's the mode? See, I haven't played it so long, I can't remember the mode. I want to say it was
You
War.
mean they got in-game like
Yes,
moderators?
yes, yes. So we were
Oh
playing
my
Warzone.
god.
We were playing Warzone, and this guy, and all it takes is for a complaint, and I guess they send a mod in to check. But anyway, we were playing Warzone, and this guy was like, "This is the one where you have all the objectives. It's not just run and gun." And that's the thing about it. Like, you got so many people that just want to run and gun, and this guy was like, I guess I was saying, "All right, guys, let's go get this spawn point. We gotta get that tactical spawn point." This guy's like, "Who do you think you are, the team captain?" And I just went off him. Like, look, motherfucker, I'm trying to win us the game. That's the whole point. You think we'll play a team deathmatch? Get your fucking ass out of here. And I guess he got mad or what because he got quiet. So I guess he reported me. But the next day, I ended up suspended from PSN, not just the game, from PlayStation Network for an entire week. So
Oh
I could
my.
understand if I got, suspended from the game, but it was also the fact that the mod either, I don't know what the fuck they do if he filed a report to another
Uh,
PSN person,
see,
but
that's the
I
thing.
was suspended for a week because of that game,
See,
and I
that's
could not believe it. I
that's what
was like, man, and all the time, and all the promo I put out for that shit, I felt like, damn, this is fucked up. And the fact that you can't even curse in an M-rated game, and I just went off. I did a video about it, and I went off to telling how I felt about that shit and how stupid it is that they have fucking mods that take advantage of the system. And if they banned me for a week, I wouldn't have cared. I would have just got back on the game. But the fact that I got banned from fucking PlayStation Network and I couldn't play no games online, I didn't have to
what
play.
kind of shit is that?
That's what I'm saying, man. So I
That's
don't. I
fucked
haven't
up.
played Killzone. I haven't played Killzone 3 online since because I don't fuck with that game like that. But they went free to play. I know they went free to play, and I guess if you want to play the full game now, and I've seen them do that a couple of times now, where they make
Yeah,
games
I'm
free to
not. Hey,
play.
listen, I'm not gonna lie. Their game had great maps, great backgrounds, and when you tell me this stuff, it's like a super double negative. And it's like I don't know if it's like people that are not westernized to American culture, but it's like DICE and people that are outside of the USA who make first-person shooters just don't get it. You know what I mean? And then to this shit like having moderators mod you for cursing, like get out of here. You should be happy that I'm playing your game. I mean, what the fuck? That don't make no sense, dude. That's just messed up. I
But
mean,
yeah,
we tear the shit. I mean, listen. The only reason, let me put it this way: the only reason we bitch about Call of Duty is because we care about it. And if nobody cares about it, then nobody plays your game, so nobody's gonna bitch about it. So the point is that people that are hating and bitching are the people who love your game. So stop fucking treating them like shit. You know what I mean? They're trying to like help make your game better. You know? So that's just messed up, dude. So
yeah.
anyways,
So as far as Killzone's concerned, I've heard other rumors that they're gonna work on another Killzone, but as far as I'm concerned, I want to say Guerrilla stated that they're gonna work on something else and Killzone on the back burner for now.
So
Because
so
they're a good
so
developer, man. I just it would be nice to see something new. I want to start seeing new shit.
like what do you think is gonna be? What do you think's gonna replace first-person shooters? I don't know. What do you think
Uh,
it?
third person shooters. I don't know.
Third person.
I mean, I'm
I,
saying there's
I
been potential. I mean, look at Gears, look at Uncharted, man.
I would
I
say
mean,
I would agree
oh,
with
and that
you.
new Max Payne. Did you see the new Max Payne 3?
I
The
would agree.
one for it?
I would agree with you, but Cliffy B he took off from he got pissed off from Gears of War, and he's like, "Listen, I fucking try to get my shine in Call of Duty, I can't get in." So they took off and they went to make like a Minecraft slash zombie game.
Wow.
So I don't think that third person is the answer. I'm thinking more of a like a
Oh man,
hybrid.
look at
I,
Rockstar, man. You see, if you look at that new Max Payne, bro, it
I,
only
I,
takes one good third-person game. I mean, even Red Dead Redemption was really hot.
I liked Red
Still
Dead
plays
Redemption
shit.
because of the story. I'm not gonna lie, I like that game.
Yeah, we played that shit online, bro.
Yeah, I love that game. But I liked it because it was a western, it was story, it was gritty. But I think what's gonna happen is somebody needs to make a like a Unreal 2 engine, the new Unreal engine, and then have like a street like a police urban first person shooter game. I think that'll be like the next big thing, like an urban police game
So you
or
mean you mean True Crime or Sleeping Dogs because that's
yeah,
what's
yeah.
coming out right now.
Well, I mean, if you threw on like the threw on a better engine on it, I think it would do better with more a little bit more fluidity. Or this,
Well,
or
Square's engine isn't actually that bad. I forgot what it's called. Fuck, what's the Loomis engine or some shit. They use it for a couple of their games. I want to say they're using it for that new Hitman game, which looks fucking awesome, and Sleeping Dogs. But I don't know if they're
or
using it for Sleeping Dogs. I haven't read anything if they're using a new engine because I don't know if they're just porting what they had from Activision or if they tweaking the entire gameplay out. I don't know. So,
so which
but yeah,
so
check it out if you haven't. Sleeping
so
Dogs.
or have you heard anything about Respawn Entertainment? Have you heard any rumors
I
about them?
actually saw this article the other day where they were doing gun sounds and they had like a sniper nest set up at the Super Bowl. Yeah. If you go on
Mm,
respawnentertainment.com, you can see the pictures and stuff. But they're obviously making a shooter. Who knows though?
yeah. Well, I can't wait, man.
What
So
are
are
your
you
thoughts
going?
on Ghost Recon Future Soldier?
I think that anything that has to do with hiding players is a bad idea. Anything that has to do with like assassin, ghost, or anything. I mean, to be honest with you, I did see a footage from Iraq. It was it was freaky as hell. I seen a dude that was in active camo like appear out of the desert, and he jumped on top of his M1 Abrams and climbed into the thing. He was like he was like he looked like a ninja once he broke out of active camo. I couldn't believe it, dude. I've seen it in real life, so it does have legitimacy to it. But the point of there is a fine line between realism and
Yeah,
video game
reality and
fun.
fiction. Yeah,
And
basically, right.
yeah, reality and video game fun. And I think a lot of times, like these companies mean well. Like they go out like what was it, Arma 2 and these other games that go out and get all these sounds for their game, and they go way, way, way out and try to make it realistic, and then it sounds great, but the fucking mechanics are horrible. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't translate to gameplay. So the thing is, like, you have to have some fun factor there, and I just think that there has to be some quirkiness in it too. Like I said, I'd like to see urban combat. I would like to see SWAT team versus like a warlord gang group, and you could customize your guns, and I want to see blood and limbs and bones and shit blowing off.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see like instead of just having a knife, I want to be able to pick a machete, an axe for my secondary. Like if I want to chop off your fucking leg with a machete, let me get a machete and like put flames on it. You know what I mean? Things like that, and just things that I just think things that need to be expounded on a little bit. And Activision isn't taking any risks. They keep producing the same old game over and over again, and I'm trying to figure out like who's going to beat them. I don't think Halo 4, I don't think the new Halo, to be honest with you, I think the next Halo game that comes out is going to be a flop because I seen video of the multiplayer, and it looks just exactly like Halo 2, and if they're trying to capture what they had in the past, that generation's already grown up and disappeared. So the relationship as to what it was before and who they're trying to connect with is already gone. So I don't know who they're trying to connect with. And the only fact that they're going to sell what they're going to sell is because Microsoft and their marketing machine is going to push the game. And then once that's over with, I think that the honeymoon nightingale effect is done. So I think they're going to lay off like a third of their workforce right after Christmas. That's my honest opinion about that game. So, I mean...
Halo's kind of come and gone, man. I mean, I'm not saying, excuse me, that would be an understatement because it hasn't come and gone yet. We haven't seen Halo fail, but I don't know if it'll do as great as Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I don't think
Call of Duty is the number one shooter, regardless of how you feel. You know how I feel about it. And for me to say that, but in terms of like, regardless if you hate Call of Duty or if you love Call of Duty, you can't ignore the fact that in terms of popularity, it is the number one shooter.
Like you're not gonna be like get out of school and say, hey dude, meet me online to play some Halo Reach. Like who's gonna say that? They're not gonna say that to you. They're gonna be like, yo, meet me on Call of Duty, let's get our game on, blah blah blah. That's where we meet up at. And another thing too, with these games that are always being broken. I mean, here's my solution. I know these people are talking about, fix the games, and then the people who got fired from community manager or quit or whatever they said they can't fix it because the security code wasn't written in the beginning of the game. My solution to that is turn off Call of Duty 4. Turn off the servers for Call of Duty 4. Turn off the servers to World at War, because they're saying Guns for Hire is like, it's kind of like you're selling a car with a defaulted radio, and it's unlawful to keep continuously selling new copies of Call of Duty 4 World at War when you know the security code's broken and the game's going to be hacked as soon as they buy it, so you're selling malicious products. I'm like, why don't you just turn off the servers? I mean, just move on to the next game. Well, I mean, I don't know why you guys sit back like 2 or 3 years, 3-4 years from a game and have the servers still running. I mean,
I think it's because it generates hype, or it generates the fact that when they do make another game, there's possible sales. That's honestly what I think why they keep it on, because they're playing World at War, and once the new one comes out from the same developer who made World at War, Treyarch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then when the new one comes out, like Black Ops, or, because Black Ops sold very well, and nobody thought Black Ops would sell as well as Modern Warfare, and it did,
Yeah.
And Black Ops 2 is definitely possible, obviously, because Black Ops was a hit,
So what do you think? Do you think when do you think this gravy train is going to be over for Activision?
I don't know, bro. I keep thinking like one day people are getting sick, and I see it now. I honestly starting to see people now get sick of Call of Duty because it's the same thing every single year. It's almost like Ubisoft is with Assassin's Creed. I mean, I've only played 2, and Assassin's Creed 2 is an amazing game, but I have one. I've yet to play number 1. I have not played Brotherhood. I've not played Revelations, and now you have Assassin's Creed 3 coming out. And it's just been a yearly thing. I think people are getting sick of the yearly releases and no change in the engine,
Yeah, I mean,
at least update the engine, man.
It's hard to take a chance, isn't it?
It must be. Well, I guess it's because once you have something, it's like that saying, like once you have a good thing, stick with it, But eventually, like history has shown, like people get sick of the same thing. Eventually, like it'll and like you said earlier, with the new generation, soon there'll be another generation of gamers, and they might not even like Call of Duty. And like it's also with the thing where history repeats itself. Fucking RPGs might make a huge comeback, and then
Command and Conquer, it comes back on the console.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, who knows, man? It'll be like when the yo-yos got popular again and stuff like that. Like, that's just how it is, bro.
Pogo flip sticks.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody gonna be out on pogos like
pogos
that can go 50 feet in the air and shit.
Do backflips on pogos, jumping off the walls with pogos and shit. But yeah, man, I don't know, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a Call of Duty COD head, and I'm tired of it. I need something. I need a change. I've been looking at fighting games, and you know that Major League Gaming has picked up Mortal Kombat, and they're offering $32,000 every tournament. You know, so it's like yeah, and the scene is getting bigger, and they got Evo coming up, and it's getting crazy.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, did you see the Vita version?
No, I haven't.
So they had this was like one of the most how can I say upsetting things I've seen from NetherRealm. They basically Warner Brothers released a trailer for the Vita a while back, and they show Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting, right, just like in a regular arena, and it's just imagine like you're watching a YouTube video, it's just the gameplay, right? And then all of a sudden the background changes and they're in an actual library fighting, and then it changes again and they're actually on a real street fighting, you know? And everyone thought that this trailer meant that they were going to do an augmented reality type of feature, because Vita has augmented reality. I don't know if you've seen that reality fighter shit where you can aim at the ground, and basically if you put the two cards in place, you'll be able to see him fight, and it works actually really well. So everyone thought this. So, dude, I was thinking of so much shit. I was gonna have Scorpion and Ermac fight over a toilet bowl and shit. I was like, man, that's so awesome, right? And then comes on Twitter. They come on Twitter later saying augmented reality feature. No, that was just to show that you can play in different areas. And I was like, man, that's some fucking bullshit. But they actually, if they would have incorporated that into the Mortal Kombat Vita, that would have been one of the best selling points. Because if you could play Mortal Kombat on your desk and you could watch them fucking go at it in real life, you know, that would be awesome, man.
See, but that's the thing. That's the way people lie now. They lie on YouTube like
that's what they knew what they did. They knew what they did. I don't care what they say. They knew damn well people were going to think it was augmented reality, because everyone who was following the Vita knew about the feature and knew about reality fighters. And the way they set it up, if they wanted to show that people can play on their own the whole time, they would have showed the guy holding the handheld like they did most of the commercials, where the person's holding the handheld and he's playing in a different scenario in the background. But first they showed him playing in a like library and stuff, and I was like, man, that's so fucked up. But actually, the game doesn't look bad. They have like a couple of modes. Like I've seen one where they have Baraka doing that spin move, and he's like, you know, slicing somebody up, and like there's blood splatting everywhere, and it's getting on the screen, and you have to like wipe the screen in mid battle to clear the blood off. And then
with your hand?
Yeah, it's fucking tight. So I might check that out.
Well, you know, I'm hoping that you know, we see some different things happen. So, you know, I think fighting games are making a big comeback on the scene, and they're gonna do pretty well. And we'll just see what happens in the future. I think E3 is gonna be the biggest tell. In what direction gaming is going in.
Definitely.
Well, anyways, that's our podcast for this Sunday. And I'm glad my guest TREZZY504 was with me today, and we'll hope to have him in the future. It was great to have the discussion. Xbox and PS3 people that, you know, both play both systems, know what they're talking about. And we'll catch you next time. Any last comments, TREZZY? I'll leave his link below.
Oh yeah, shout out to everybody who follows my channel, and shout out to Fist for letting me on the show, man. Good luck, bro.
All right, man. We're done. Bye.